This is a beautiful morning, and it's especially beautiful because for the past 3 or 4 days it's been raining non-stop. And the land has got saturated with rain, which is not unusual for this time of the year, because here in Ireland we do have a wet climate. But it's just so gorgeous to wake up and to step outside. See, the outside light is still on there. Just to step outside and see a clear sky. Look at that. Isn't that something? Just the odd little wisp of a cloud. That's all. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. Everything is very fresh. It's Jack playing with his little ring. He knows how to amuse himself. So, a little update now. Oh, there's the little robin that's come over to say good morning as well. Let me see if I can get a close-up of. Oh, no, hop down onto a tree or something there. So a little update on both the envelopes and the books. I got a box. I got 6 boxes. Altogether 600 envelopes delivered. So I'm being very optimistic. I'm being very optimistic about posting off books here. I am getting my first part of the delivery of the Goddess books on Friday, which is tomorrow. It would be fantastic if it was the morning, because I've got envelopes already addressed and ready to go. So I'm hoping to post them tomorrow. But if not, folks, they will be posted on Monday. So everything is more or less on schedule. I sort of wove a fairly loose schedule to begin with, and I've been tightening the tapestry as we've gone along. So I'm looking forward just to getting the books into the envelopes and getting them posted off to you, because you've all been very patient, and I thank you for that. And it's just lovely to get everything sorted out and completed. I've made my great big cup of coffee. So, I didn't do a video yesterday because I was busy working in the garden in the rain. I managed to get a fair bit done. Just cutting back, see things like this nasturtium now, taking that down. Masses and masses of big jobs and masses of little jobs, which I quite enjoy doing. I can't complain. But I do get rather tired at the end of the day when I'm working outdoors, because I'm a little bit naughty in that when I start doing something like, tidying up or cutting back, I just keep going for hours and hours to the detriment of everything, including my own health actually, but that's how I've always been. So when I do finally get indoors, all the stuff that I would have liked to have done indoors, including doing, my videos or even writing a blog. I haven't written a blog in a long time now. Trying to put a few things up on Twitter, sharing a few things on Facebook. It can be overwhelming at times when I'm caught up physically doing other work. But I know you understand, or at least most of you understand. I did get a few messages and even a couple of emails over the past week or so asking me to do specific videos and also asking me why I'm not doing any cookery videos. I did say about the cookery videos that when I had 200 patrons on Patreon and I could reasonably afford to get someone in to actually do the filming and the editing, then I would do that. So it's up to you whether you decide to support on Patreon or not. But that's something that I've promised to do, and I'll keep to my promise. But the whole promise was 200 patrons on Patreon. As for videos that people want me to do specifically regarding parts of the garden or whatever, I actually do get round to doing all those videos. You just have to be patient. So those of you who want to see how the potager beds are cleared, well, I don't have anyone filming, and it's impossible to clear the potager beds whilst holding a camera. But I will show you the potager beds when they're cleared. And they're sort of on their way to being cleared now. Got a little comment as well about this chair. Someone thinking it was part of the garden furniture. It is a lovely chair. And I had it round on the... here's this little fella, look, he's still playing with his ball. Or his little donut. His blue donut. I did have it round on the veranda. But my friends, the wasps, decided to nest in it. And wasps being very important pollinators, I don't understand why they're so despised, because they create the most beautiful, beautiful nests. And they really do leave you alone, as witnessed on one of my videos during the late summer, when they left all the grapes on my outdoor grapevine except for one bunch. All the wasps gathered on one bunch of grapes. So they're quite modest as well in their demands. Anyway, so some wasps built a nest in there, and so my daughter and I carried this chair round to what I would have called a safe corner, but still in the sun, so the wasps could continue doing their thing. So now that the summer's over and the winter's here, I will get this piece of furniture moved. It's going to go to the recycling centre. I expect the wasps now have finished with it. It's called trying to live in harmony with nature, and not always putting my own demands at the forefront. Because we're inclined to do that, aren't we? We are inclined as a species to put ourselves first. I try not to do that. I say try, because it's an ongoing battle with the human being that I am. Gosh, it's just so gorgeous this morning. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. This is why Jack's so happy. Look, he's playing. I think animals are like this, you know. When the weather has been terrible for a few days or sometimes a few weeks, when they do come out into the good weather, they just get exhilarated. They're filled with this wonderful energy. He just wants to play now and romp around. Look at the colours on that beautiful Cotoneaster over there. Wonderful. And you get the colours of the willow coming up as well. You see that kind of yellowy, greeny sort of stems? Well, that's willow. That's called pretensis willow. And I'm slowly clearing these potager beds, as you can see. There is a clearing going on. Now, just while I'm here on this beautiful morning, I must tell you about the dream I had last night. It was an incredibly vivid dream. Incredibly vivid. And there was just a few things that stood out. You know, like my dreams aren't sort of stories that ramble on from, you know, beginning, middle and end. They're like snapshots. They're like snapshots with a camera, and occasionally very, very short videos. Very short. So this snapshot, I have to kick this to one side for him. This snapshot was, I was standing on this land that I hadn't been on before. And part of the land was fenced in with a green sort of diamond type fencing. It was like that green wire, you know, that's covered with a kind of a PVC, you know, that very thick garden fencing. And inside this area that was all fenced off were these trees, and they were growing so abundantly. I was stood there and almost watching them grow. And then on my side of this fence, down at my feet were bunches, what I can only describe as bunches of oak trees with the acorns still on them. So they were about maybe about 2 foot long in size, and there was just big bunches of them, and the roots were all tangled up, and the the actual little saplings were all, you know, growing, and the acorn was still there attached to them. And I remember looking down at them, and then the next shot in this dream was I was putting them into pots, and as I was disentangling them and putting them into pots, it suddenly dawned on me that I shouldn't bother putting them into pots. I should just put them straight into the earth. So there was a sense of urgency about it. And so I began putting them straight into the earth. And that was it. That was it. And I woke up and I just felt a very strong sense of that urgency. The urgency. So maybe that is maybe that's what's going to be happening in 2018. There is going to be another change. This time last year I was wondering what the year ahead would hold for me. I never imagined I'd be writing. I mean, I've always written, you know, I've always kept diaries and written stories. In fact, I've got masses of material. But I never imagined I would actually write a book and publish it. I never imagined I'd write a second book. I'd never imagined that it would come as easy as it came to me, and be as delightful as it is. But there's something afoot. There's something different afoot. Oak trees. Ireland was once covered with massive oak trees, you know. I think I wrote about that in my book. It was invaded for its hardwood forests. That was the great wealth of the day. The hardwood forests. But this land still holds the memory of the oak. I believe that. That's why the oak trees that I have planted here have grown so well. There's a memory. There's my little robin. He's just kind of amused, I think, by... Oh no, he's taking the berries. Where's he gone? Where has he gone? He's here on the side of the cottage, just gathering up the berries. Lots down there, look. That's why I don't clean up too much, because you're sweeping away their food. And there's the beautiful pink clouds of the dawn. So, what lies ahead? What is the universe sending me now? I know this much. I've been at the beck and call of Mother Earth these past 13 years. I know that because with hindsight things make sense. When you're moving along through life, you're wondering, you know, what's this about? But with hindsight, and that's why hindsight is a wonderful thing, because you can look back and you can see how things have developed and then understand why they have as well. Because there are no accidents. There are no coincidences. Things happen. Especially if you allow them to happen. If you allow that energy to come in. And maybe that's the secret of Bealtaine. That the energies in this land have been allowed to completely do their own thing. Just with me as a facilitator. It's very silent. Jack says, well, I've enjoyed playing with that donut. Now the question is, should I continue playing? Or should I go in with Mum and just settle down for a wee while? Well, I think it's time to go in. So I'm here in my gym jams with my shawl around my shoulders. I always work on the basis that if my shoulders are warm, then everything's okay. Now I've just got two little things to share with you before I switch off. Now there's one little girl who's been out all night, and I've taken the rest of the envelopes out of the box, look, and put my beautiful piece of fabric in there that was sent to me specially. But for the moment, Beauty can share it. I'll get around to doing something with that fabric in the new year. And then, in here, before I even got a chance to make the bed, one very dirty cat. Oh, why is it all messed up like that? I'll have to just clean this lens. That's funny, why has that happened? Oh, strange. Here we go. Look at the filth of that boy. Have you ever seen a pussycat as ridiculously filthy as that? Look at him. He's been out in the ditches. He's probably been down on the road as well. He's obviously fallen into ditches and got covered in mud. Look at the dirt. Will he bother to clean himself? No, he won't. He'll just get up onto Mummy's clean bed and mess everything up. See what I have to put up with? Now, this is all misting up again. Why is this happening? This is strange. Look at this. Maybe it wasn't that cold outside. And it's not that warm in here. Very strange effect. Oh well, question not, just go with the flow. I don't know. This is the first time this has ever happened, that's all I can say. Anyway, have a wonderful Thursday and blessings to you all. And I shall get back to my coffee and upload this video, and I might even take a few photographs and put them up on Facebook. Have a great day everyone, and blessings.